Hey, DJ Stets here of Little Hearts Academy and Imperfect Heroes podcast. And today I am talking about the neurodiverse child. And my guest on my podcast, his name is Michaell Magrutsche. And he actually grew up in Austria. And he also, there we are, and he now lives in California. And he grew up as a neurodiverse child. And of course, now he's a neurodiverse adult. And he advocates for reaching out to these kids and finding the thing that drives them and looking at them from a human perspective rather than how do we make this child fit in somewhere. And I love Michaell. He's great. And you'll hear him talk about the things of, he really differentiates between looking at someone as a human and, or how the system will look at a child or an adult for that matter. Before I get talking a little more though, I would love to mention that just in the month of February, so we're halfway through, I have a free workshop available of going from the unwitting saboteur to strategic hero parent. And it's free. You just go to the website, www.littleheartsacademyusa.com. I think I have a link here and I will double check and make sure. If not, it will be in the comments. I'll make sure it gets there. And so just for the month of February, it is going to be free. And it's about an hour long, just under an hour. And it is a pre-recorded, it's not a live, it's not a live workshop, because then you can take your time and listen to it at your own leisure and at a time that's good for you. And then if you want afterwards, you are welcome to go to my calendar link and book a time, and we can talk about some of the things that you learned, some of the things that you are struggling with, and what are your wants for what you want to happen with your family and your kids. What do you need to do to get your family there? I would love to spend that time with you, and I will give you 50 minutes of my time um, at no charge. So there you go. Win-win all around, right? So please look on. I know that it's getting some more downloads. I saw some more today. And so I'm glad that it's getting out there and people are getting that information. And so how wonderful is that? And even Thursday, um, Thursday, I've got some calls set up from people who have listened and want to learn more. So isn't that wonderful? All right, so let's get back to these neurodiverse kids. So one of the things that Michaell talks about is how art truly saved his life. And he said it's kind of sad because he didn't realize he was an artist until he was 30, and how hard it was for him. He tried so hard to be a good student and to learn and to do the things that they wanted him to do. But reading was a huge issue for him, and numbers and math, another big issue for him. And so he always felt, well, he was behind. And so he had to have all these extra helps. And that was embarrassing in a lot of ways, to be pulled out of the class, to go get help because he doesn't get it. And not understanding completely what people were doing and trying to fit in, but not understanding some of the purposes of different behaviors. And I love that we have someone who is a neurodiverse adult who can talk to us about what he was feeling as a child. How important is that? Because very often when they are kids, they don't have the language and the words and the understanding to really express what's going on inside. And so now we've got Michaell as an adult, and he is able to tell us more, and we can learn more about, what he was feeling. And he really digs into this whole idea of uh, a human mind and having everyone feel like a human, because he didn't feel like he fit in, and that devalued him in a lot of ways, as you can imagine. And so I really believe that this conversation is important, whether you have a neurodiverse child or not, because I will guarantee that there are neurodiverse children within their classrooms, on their teams, on their neighborhood, among their friends. And so you can help your child understand more about how to include that neurodiverse kiddo, and make them feel human, and not that they're not good enough to be part of things. What an important lesson to teach your kids. Can you imagine? And so I'd love for you all to listen to this. Now, one of the things that Michaell talks about is that every child, and I believe this with all my heart, every child is a genius at something. I truly believe that. And it's a matter of finding what it is that they're so good at. And so I uh, love the way that he talked about, maybe it's art, maybe it's math, um, maybe it's just social cues and understanding when someone is feeling down and knowing when to give someone a hug, and that tenderness that's there. Maybe it's with animals. Maybe it is with an athletic sport or something. Maybe it's science. I mean, there's so many different ways that kids can really shine, just shine, and it doesn't matter who they are. And so I love the way that he expresses that and talks about finding that with every child. Now, this is a responsibility for teachers, but it also is for parents. And sometimes when we have a child that's struggling, we get so caught up in, the temper tantrums and meltdowns, or the continued failing in, a subject or two or all at school. And it's easy to get just beaten down as the parent. But if you're beaten down as the parent with having to deal with this, imagine what your kiddo is feeling, right? And so we want to make sure that we're reaching out to them and helping them to uh, feel everything that they were meant to feel and become everything that they were meant to be. And so I've had kids that had significant issues with social emotional behavior, but maybe they were a great reader. And so even though they may be violent easily in other areas, yet when I gave them a chance to, wow, you're just such a good reader, could you help so and so? They're trying to learn, you know, some new words or read this book or whatever. And I've seen these kids who really struggled socially go and help another child, and they shine. They are patient and they are helpful, and it's just really amazing to see the change that takes place. Doesn't mean that they're not going to be violent again later in the day. It doesn't mean that, you know, everything's going to get better all at once, but they do have a place where they shine. And then you can say, oh, David, you are such a good helper. Look at how you helped Susie write her name. Look at how you taught Joey about silent E and how that works. And then they pop up, they feel better about themselves. Nothing happens overnight. No, no, no. It does not. You might get something that works really well for, an event, and then the next time it doesn't. But then the next time it does. And so, you need to be patient with their growth and with their expansion of understanding. But it does make a difference when you can find what they are genius at. And maybe it's cars, maybe it's dinosaurs, maybe it's princesses, right? Whatever they've got going on that they latch onto, then you can use that in helping them understand other subjects by tying them together. And So it's just a great conversation, and I'm so grateful for Michael and the work that he does. He's a public speaker and he does workshops and stuff, helping others understand the value of the human. And I thought that was a great line there. So I want to again remind everyone that you can get the Unwitting Saboteur to Strategic Hero for free. And then I am more than happy to connect with you and talk to you further about what you learned, what questions you have, what are the desires and um, the needs that you need to get together to be able to achieve those desires with yourself and with your kids and to help them in all kinds of areas. So it's pretty fun. Most of the time, we don't even realize we're sabotaging ourselves or our kids, or we wouldn't do it, right? And so sometimes it's just a matter of being able to realize, oh, wait, that wasn't good, and catch yourself. And so this workshop is there to help you with that. So again, it's a recorded workshop. It's something you can download and listen to at your free time. And then I am more than happy to talk to you further about what you learned and how I can help you move even further along in your growth as a parent. And so that's it. It's Valentine's Day. And so I'm going to leave so I can go and enjoy Valentine's with my sweetheart. And so I'll catch you next week, Tuesday night. And until then, let's find joy in parenting. Bye, everyone.